What is up, guys? Today I want to talk about a cheaper Jackson JS32. I'm not going to be playing it through the amp today. I'm just going to talk about it. And what you can get for less than $200 at your local music store. If you do want to hear it, go check out my review on it. This one's more of a what you can get for cheap at a music store as a beginner guitarist. So this here, I say, was my first guitar that wasn't some unbranded thing for like 90 bucks. So this was about $160 when I bought it. So what you get, you're going to get 24 jumbo frets. You're going to have a nice little cutout here so you can do your shredding. Get some nice inlays, a nice piece of rosewood, and a nice thin compound radius, and a nice thin neck. So you just get some Jackson tuners. This thing stays in tune pretty well. You get a bolt-on, which is why it's cheaper. Nice little carve in here. Helps with wrapping your hand in there. Nice little, cut out here. Makes it comfortable. It's string through, which makes it super easy when you're stringing it up. You just throw the strings in there. Two humbuckers. These are not active, they're passive. But don't let that fool you. These things are nice and hot, dude. You put on an amp and they'll shred. Just three-way toggle. Reverse headstock might confuse a lot of people. It confused me a lot at first. Still does. But I mean, for $160-ish, you can, as a beginner, you can go and get a really, really nice guitar. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars to get a guitar. And as well as this one, you also have that one. That's a Squier, not a Fender. That was around the same price. That was about $200. Don't go and believe everything that you're told by companies and YouTubers that you have to buy a really, really expensive guitar for it to sound and play really nice. Don't get the cheapest guitar, of course. I've seen a lot of people quit trying to learn how to play guitar because they go and get such a cheap guitar thinking, I don't want to go and spend, $300 on a guitar if I'm not going to be playing it forever. I don't know if this is what I want. However, you buy a really cheap guitar, you're going to have sharp frets. It's going to hurt your hands. I had a cheap guitar. It was got it for like $60 at the local music store. It was like a Starcaster or something. And as soon as I started playing it, my hand got ripped up. It was bleeding where the frets were up against your fingers. Don't go and get a guitar like that. There's good guitars out there for less than $100 for sure. There's also good guitars out there for less than $200. As a beginner, $200 is probably your best bet for a good guitar to learn on, and you're not gonna completely break your bank. Any lower than 120, I say you're probably getting into that iffy range where you don't know if you're gonna get a good guitar or if you're gonna get the finger bleeder. So I've seen a lot of people quit because of guitars like that, and I've heard of a lot of people quitting because of guitars like that where it's just not really a playable guitar. You can make it playable, but a beginner isn't going to pick up one of those guitars and know how to do a truss rod adjustment, know how to file off the ends of the frets a little bit, make them smoother, or know how to polish them up. They're not going to know how to adjust the action, you know. They're beginners. You're beginners. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you might be a beginner guitarist thinking about buying a guitar. So, yeah, I mean, this guitar is awesome for $160. I'd recommend it to anybody. I've been shredding on this thing for years, and I mean, I wore the neck out on this thing. The frets are all worn out, and it still plugs in and hits home and hits hot, and you know, I still have the feels for it, man. So this one was put out in 2010. Jackson puts out a lot of really, really great guitars for beginner guitarists. I don't think I've ever picked up a Jackson guitar that I didn't like. So basically, anything from their JS line is going to be on the cheaper side. That's a JS Kelly. I did spend, you know, almost $530 on it. It is an awesome guitar. You know, normally you go and buy a Kelly, you're spending a few $1,000s. I've played those, and I can say that one compares to them pretty well. This one, dinky JS32. Awesome guitar, super cheap. I mean, dude, it's Jackson's cheap guitar. It's not like Fender where they put squier on it because they don't want people to see that it's made by them in case it's a bad guitar. They put their logo huge on the headstock, just like any other Jackson, and I love it. So, I mean, Jackson puts out really, really affordable, nice guitars for beginners, and I've even seen professionals playing guitars like this that you get for less than $200. You plug it right into any amp and shred away. As far as the Fender Squiers go, you know, I have their cheapest model, and I do love it. I absolutely love it. It's awesome. When I got it, though, I kind of want to put some new strings on it because they're a little bit too light for me. I think they're like 9s or something. They're really sloppy. So when I'm trying to play metal and stuff, it just sounds sloppy, even in standard. And honestly, with Jackson, you know, I've noticed when it comes, it's pretty much set up. I did buy it from a music store, and it did need a little bit of a setup, but for the most part, it was completely playable. As soon as I got it, I didn't do anything with it. I didn't even change the strings for a while because it was perfect the way it was. I haven't modded anything with the pickups. Everything's original. And it's the perfect guitar, you know, even though I've been playing for, I don't know, 10 years. Yeah, so even though I've been playing for 10 years, this is still my favorite guitar that I own. The Squier, if you get it, it's gonna be around the same price as this. Honestly, I think one of these is a better bet for you than that one, depending on what you want. If you're looking for a more bluesy strat tone, you're gonna want to go with the Squier Bullet. If you're wanting a more beefy metal tone, depending on your musical style, you're gonna want this. This can play multiple different stuff. I've played blues on this before. I recorded blues on it. That one, however, is not the best guitar for metal. So if you're into like alternative rock, you're into, you know, lighter styles of music or anything, you're definitely going to go with that one. That one, I absolutely love it. It's my favorite guitar to pick up and play blues on. Out of all my guitars, I absolutely love that one. Even the Telecaster. I've had 3 Tellies, and honestly, I love playing that one for the blues more. It has more grungy, beefy tone. If you're into stuff like Nirvana or grunge, that guitar is going to be way better for you than this one. But if you're into like more heavy stuff, Slipknot plays Jackson. If you're into playing that kind of, you know, beefy, heavy tones, then Jackson's probably going to be the way to go. If you're into thrash like Megadeth, Jackson's probably the way to go. And it's awesome, man. It's a great guitar for beginners, great guitar for more advanced musicians. Again, dude, these CRV humbucking pickups are killer. I love them. And the jumbo frets make it super easy to fit your fingers in there. I know a lot of beginners, they kind of have their fingers stretched out, kind of weird. They don't really group them up by each other very close, so this would definitely help give them a little bit of that extra space that I think their fingers need to adjust. And just awesome. And it comes in so many different colors, so many different models, so many different shapes and sizes, and you know, they have them in, I know they have them in 7-string. I think they have them in an 8-string too. So if you're into like gent, then they have the cheap guitar for you. As far as a Fender Strat goes, it's a Fender Strat. As far as a Squier Strat, it's pretty much a Fender Strat. Just cheaper pickups, cheaper pickguard, cheaper hardware. Other than that, it's pretty much a Fender Strat. And I absolutely love it, dude. I love these 2 guitars, even though they're the cheapest guitars that I own. I love them. And yeah, I definitely recommend both of them to you. Again, depending on your style, what you like to play, would really depend on what you get. If you're gonna get a metal guitar, go for this. If you're gonna get an alternative rock, bluesy type guitar, go with that bad boy right behind me there. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Cheap guitars, man. Everyone disses them. Not everyone, but I've seen a lot of people, you know, just completely rip on them and hate them, saying you need to buy, you know, $800 to $2,000 guitars to have a good sound. You don't. I've seen guys play, you know, $70 unbranded eBay guitars. They just give them a quick setup and they're awesome. So we are in the golden age where you don't have to spend a ton of money to get a good guitar. Spend $160 and you got yourself a shred machine. Perfect to learn on. So yeah, go check them out. Sweetwater. Again, I absolutely love Sweetwater. I want to say they are an amazing company to buy from. I know for a fact right now, even though you probably don't want to buy them right now with the quarantine, right now they have a ton of dinkies for around $200 to $300 on, and they're all brand new. That's why they're more expensive. But they're on their website right now, so you can go check those out. And I know for a fact that they have a ton of the Squier Strats on there. If you're looking for a more higher end Squier Strat than the Bullet, check out the Affinity. I had an Affinity Telly, and that thing was awesome. So, options. Make sure you do more research. But yeah, cheap guitars are awesome, man. So, they shred.